Hello everyone, today I'll be reviewing Miracle on 34th Street. So Miracle on 34th Street came out in 1947 and is a Christmas film directed by George Seaton. Right at the start of this film we're introduced to Maureen O'Hara's character, who is an events director for Macy's department store in New York City, and she's busy organising the Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade. Unfortunately, the man who is supposed to play Santa Claus has become drunk and intoxicated, which means that a replacement is needed. This is when Edmund Gwenn's character turns up, and then he becomes Santa Claus for the parade. And everyone is so impressed by him that he ends up becoming the Santa Claus at the Macy's department store. What ends up happening is that when kids ask him for a certain toy, he might end up saying, actually, we don't sell that toy at Macy's, but you can find it at this other department store. Now, at first, the people working at Macy's are not particularly happy about this, but then they eventually realise that they're getting a lot of good customer feedback, and that customers really appreciate the goodwill gesture and, bringing the spirit of Christmas alive instead of just trying to make as much money as possible. Eventually, though, they start to realise that this man who is playing Santa Claus at the Macy's department store, he actually believes he is Santa Claus, and even when people are asking him, he actually says yes, he believes he is Santa Claus. So people start to think, is this man going crazy, or is he mentally insane? And then the story really develops from there. So I'm not really going to say much more about how the story goes on from there, because I'd like you to watch it and make up your mind for yourself. But we also do get some other characters in this film as well. I mentioned obviously Maureen O'Hara. She plays a single mother who is living with her daughter, who is played by Natalie Wood. And Natalie Wood was only about 8 years old at the time, but she actually gives a great performance because her character, she's been told by her mother that Santa Claus isn't real because her mother has recently been divorced and been through an unhappy marriage. She seems quite pessimistic, and she's obviously passed that on to her daughter. But her daughter eventually starts to become a bit more imaginative as we go on through the story. We also have John Payne in this film, who plays Maureen O'Hara's love interest, and we get a bit of a love romance angle there. Really, what this film is about imagination and fantasy and believing, and this has really become a staple Christmas movie, and it's been remade a few times, but this is apparently supposed to be the very best one. And I can certainly see why, because even all these years later, it's still a very watchable film, and really the message of this film I think is still very relevant today. Edmund Gwenn as Kris Kringle, he actually won the Oscar for Best Supporting Actor in this film, and he is by far the star of the film. He's in obviously so many scenes throughout this film and is really a pivotal character in it, and you can almost believe that he is actually Santa Claus when watching this, especially with the way he interacts with everyone. He just seems like a very nice old man who really wants to make everyone happy and bring joy to everybody's life, and the way that Edward Gwenn portrays him on screen is very convincing. I also really like Maureen O'Hara in this film. Although her character is a little bit cold and a little bit pessimistic at first, it's just the way her character is, especially with the way that she brings up her daughter, played by Natalie Wood. She's obviously recently been divorced, and her character is very work focused. She's very focused on her career at Macy's department store, and she doesn't really take any nonsense. She's a very serious sort of character, and she wants to bring her daughter up, just, telling her daughter the truth the whole time, and, not wanting her daughter to indulge in fantasies and things that aren't real. But throughout the story, she learns to take a different side to life and see things in a slightly different view. And this is also where John Payne's character comes in, because he really wants to bring out a different side to Maureen O'Hara's character as well. So this was the second time that I'd seen this film, and I think the first time I saw it, I think I really enjoyed it. I thought it was an excellent film, and having watched it a second time, I think I probably like it just as much. And it's still one of those nice films to go back to and watch again. And I think along with films like It's a Wonderful Life, still such an iconic Christmas film, and still just a very nice film to watch. And I think really the message of this film, it's a lovely message. I think that some people perhaps watching it now might find it a little bit cheesy in times. There is certain lines in the film with obviously Santa Claus saying, the most important thing is to make children happy, which obviously is a nice message, but sometimes it might come across as a bit cheesy to some people. It depends how you approach the film. But really, this is a nice family film, a very warm feeling to it. And I think the ending scene, though obviously I'm not going to spoil it, it really builds up nicely to that scene at the end. And yeah, really the final 20 minutes are some of the most exciting stuff you can see in this kind of family film. I have to be honest, I'm struggling to say much bad about this film. Having watched it, I really enjoyed it. It was a really nice Christmas film. Aside from maybe, if you're the kind of person who doesn't like these Christmas feel-good movies, then I can't say why I wouldn't recommend this film. It has something for everybody. It has a nice story, it has nice characters. It's actually a very nice looking film because a lot of it was actually shot on location in New York City, and in fact with the start scene, that is actual footage of the Thanksgiving Day parade. So they really did lots of on location shooting with this, and actually when we get the scenes in Macy's department store, again that was actually filmed in Macy's department store in New York City. In terms of how this film looks, it's excellent. And also the music is very nice, and we get lots of Christmas songs in the background like Jingle Bells obviously. So overall I have to say Miracle on 34th Street, an excellent film, so entertaining, so lovely, a brilliant message, and Edmund Gwenn is absolutely brilliant as Santa Claus. So I'm not going to beat about the bush. I'm going to give Miracle on 34th Street a rating of 10 out of 10. If you're someone who likes Christmas films and is in the mood for Christmas, this is definitely one of those films that needs to be seen. And also don't be put off by the fact that it came out quite a long time ago. Obviously 1947 is obviously quite a long time ago now, because I believe it's a timeless film. Although unfortunately I actually watched this on DVD, so it might look a bit low quality compared to other formats, but still nevertheless you do get used to it. So there we go. So that is my review of Miracle on 34th Street. So what do you guys think? Have you seen it? Do you like it? Do you dislike it? Please let me know what your thoughts are down in the comment section below. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you all in the next video. Take care.